The last time Lady Eleanor saw the sun, she was 16 years old. She stood atop the highest tower of Blackthorn Castle, watching golden light spread across the valleys below. Birds drifted through the sky, and distant fields glowed beneath the setting sun. She had no idea it would be the last sunset of her life, because before the next dawn, she would be locked away in a place where sunlight could never reach. A prison beneath the castle. A prison from which she would never truly escape. The year was 1287. Blackthorn Castle stood on a rocky hill in northern England. Its thick stone walls had survived wars and rebellions. But behind those walls lived a man feared even by his own family. Lord William Blackthorn. He was wealthy, powerful, and deeply paranoid. Years of political betrayals had convinced him that enemies surrounded him. He trusted no one completely, not even his daughter. One winter evening, servants discovered letters hidden inside Eleanor's chamber. Love letters. They were written by a young knight named Thomas. The letters spoke of marriage and dreams of a life beyond the castle walls. To most fathers, this would have been a scandal. To Lord William, it was treason. He became convinced the knight wanted access to the family's lands and wealth. Thomas was arrested before sunrise. Within days, he was executed. But Eleanor's punishment would be far worse. William ordered servants to prepare an abandoned chamber beneath the castle, originally built as a storage room during times of siege. It had no windows, no sunlight, and only a single, heavy wooden door. One night, Eleanor was taken there. She pleaded with her father. She cried. She promised obedience, but he never answered. The door closed, the lock turned, and the darkness became her world. The chamber was small and cold. A bed, a chair, and a table occupied most of the space. Food arrived twice a day through a narrow slot in the door. No one spoke to her. At first, Eleanor believed the punishment would end. She scratched marks into the wall to count the days. She recited prayers. She remembered every detail of the outside world. The warmth of the sunlight, the smell of grass after rain, the sound of birds singing in the morning. But isolation changes people. Weeks became months, months became years. Eventually, she lost count of time. Without sunlight, her body weakened. Without conversation, her thoughts became her only companion. Sometimes, she imagined she heard voices beyond the walls. Sometimes she thought she could hear Thomas calling her name. At night, shadows from her candle seemed to move across the stone. Whispers echoed in empty corners. She knew they were not real. But after enough years in darkness, certainty becomes difficult. Life continued above the castle. Servants came and went. Children grew into adults. Seasons passed. But Eleanor remained hidden beneath the stone like a forgotten ghost. The young noblewoman who once walked through bright gardens slowly disappeared. Her skin turned pale. Her hair lost its shine. Her eyes became painfully sensitive to light. One servant later claimed that whenever the food slot opened, Eleanor would cover her face because even that tiny beam of brightness hurt her eyes. Then after nearly 20 years, everything changed. Lord William died. A sudden illness carried him away. His son inherited the castle and soon discovered the terrible secret hidden beneath it. Horrified, he ordered the chamber opened immediately. Servants descended into the underground corridors carrying lanterns. The old lock was broken. The door creaked open. And for the first time in decades, light entered the room. What they found shocked everyone. Eleanor was still alive. Thin, pale, and fragile, but alive. When sunlight touched her face, she screamed and covered her eyes. The darkness had become all she knew. The rescuers tried to lead her outside, but she resisted. The world frightened her now. Everyone she once knew was gone. The castle had changed. Time had stolen everything familiar. After 20 years in isolation, freedom felt more terrifying than prison. Eleanor survived only a few months after her release. Most days she sat beside a window staring silently at the sky. Witnesses said she watched every sunrise and sunset as if trying to recover the year stolen from her. Then one quiet evening, she closed her eyes for the final time. And unlike the darkness beneath the castle, this one brought peace. Her story reminds us that not all prisons are built with bars. Sometimes the cruelest punishment is isolation. Humans are meant to share life with others. We are meant to speak, laugh, and belong. When those things are taken away, even the strongest mind can begin to break. And perhaps that is why Eleanor's story still feels so haunting centuries later. Because her greatest suffering was not the darkness. It was being forgotten. If you enjoyed this story and want more dark historical tales, forgotten tragedies, and disturbing mysteries from the past, be sure to subscribe and join us for the next journey into history's shadows.